What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Valley Boys Digimon TCG. I'm CK, and here we are in the final round of locals here. This was the first tournament of the year, and I am still going strong. Shoutmon DX in the final round, still undefeated. The blast from the past, and we're going up against a Gallantmon deck. And my opponent, showing the camera, he is bricked hard. All he can do is drop the Tamer that first round. I'm able to get up into Omni Shoutmon to start the turn. Unfortunately, I had to Evo into the Aguni. I don't like Evoing Aguni that early. And so now he drops his Gyomon, gets a Search, gets a Tamer, and a Digi out of that. Good hits. And then he decides just to play that Staccato. Probably the smart move, but here we're going to see the oppressive control that this Shoutmon DX is possible. This would make me love the deck here in the final round. So we go into the X antibody for free. Since Omni Shoutmon is a source, I can swing over his unsuspended Digimon. Now that is a big problem for him because he is bricking hard. And then I just drop, since he's going to go to 3 anyway, I just drop a blocker. And I am playing the control game till I feel like I have the pieces. Especially knowing that he can't do anything right now, or he's struggling to do anything right now, and it is a rough game one for my opponent. This is the final match. He's been undefeated at this point, and this is probably the worst he's been all night. I mean, look at that hand. Nothing is playable essentially. So he just passed his turn right back. So we Evo and Raising, and knowing that he can't really swing over me, I go ahead and go into the Z Greymon just to get some attack in. We swing for 2 checks, give him another Staccato, and then we decide to go into Blitz Omni and get another 2 checks in. So clearly this has been a pretty one-sided affair already. He bricked so hard, couldn't play, and I was able to check 4 here. And he still has a hand that's unplayable, basically presenting lethal there. He can't do anything, just pass his turn, and we just go in with Gamma, swing with Omni, and end game 1 that fast. And yeah, he's showing that basically he can't do anything. There was nothing to do with that hand. It was a horrible starting hand, so we jump off into game 2, and hopefully he's got a little better luck this time around. So I'm going first. He wants me to pass first. He wants that extra draw. And I get the Shoutmon and Raising and the Searcher Shoutmon drop. I can only pick up 1, which is going to be the Shoutmon DX, but that's all right. And so hoping to see that he's got something better this time, and no, he does not have the rookie. He just drops a Tamer again. So this is not a good start for him, and I feel so bad for my opponent because this is you know, he was undefeated at this point. Here we're in the finals, and his deck just did not want to play. And I go ahead and use the warp function to get to Omni Shoutmon. Figure we're just going to try to gas it. Passing back his 3, he drops the Growlmon, putting me to 1, which is okay because we have our X antibody, which again will let me swing over his unsuspended Digimon as long as Omni Shoutmon's in the source. So we swing over the unsuspended, and then we warp into a second Omni Shoutmon. So we're really running the control. He finally gets a rookie here in Raising, and then he drops another Gyomon to get the search going. He's able to pulls the Growlmon, and then Evo's in Growlmon to pass the turn over. But he knows at this point it's hard to, he can't really leave anything on board. This Omni Shoutmon X antibody is gonna clear anything he plays out, anything he pushes up, as long as it's under 8k. And we go into a second X antibody, so now we can double swing over suspended. So we swing over the suspended. Oh, we decide to go for security first, and we get 2 checks in because Omni Shoutmon does have Blitz, and Omni Shoutmon gives Digimon with Blitz an extra security check. Hits the Crimson Blaze, which really does nothing to my board. So I have the decision whether to swing over his unsuspended and keep the control going, and instead I decide let's just keep the gas going, add the go to Shoutmon DX, and then we tuck the Z Greymon, which still gives me the opportunity to go ahead and swing over his unsuspended Digimon. But we don't need to do that because it pops anyway, and we're clearing another 2 checks there. So yeah, now we're presenting lethal again, and he doesn't have much to go with. He is able to get to the black Wargrowlmon to mill, and then it'll let him play out something for free, since we have more than, I think it's more than 5 in trash, something like that. So he plays out another Tocado, which will give him the opportunity to go into a Gallant, but opts to go into the X antibody first, I guess to get an extra card draw. And he's deciding what he wants to do because he knows that my X antibody can swing over unsuspended, and I've got enough pressure. So he goes into the Gallant here, tapping the Tocado to get Blitz. He's gonna pop my Omni Shoutmon with the X antibody, and checking on his effects, gets the draw off, and then swinging over my DX. So now he's got some good retail there, going back over me. And we're trying to keep count of the Evo and where we should be at. And after that Evo and the memory gain, it's basically choking me to 1. So I'm at 1, trying to make a decision what to do. And we go ahead and promote up. Might as well swing in to clear that last check, X antibody, so he gains the memory back, so at 0. And we just drop a Shoutmon to get a search going. Able to grab another Searcher Shoutmon. So his turn, he's got to basically clear my board somehow, has the Guilmon raising. If he runs a Crimson Blaze, that'd be a good way to clap me back and choke me to 1. And he plays a Guilmon to search. Gets the double hit there. This is where he makes a crucial misplay because it can delete something and he targets the BO instead of the Shoutmon. And I take a pause and I tell him, "Are you sure?" And he says yes. And I want to tell him you should just pop the Shoutmon, swing over the BOmon, but it's the last round of the tournament. I didn't want to give it away to the opponent. I just try to give him a little nudge to take a second to think, but that was his decision, and it was a crucial misplay, and he caught it afterwards, that he should have gone that route, but pops the BOmon that was already suspended, and then thinking of his next turn, next play, and how to get rid of the Shoutmon. And I think somewhere around here it dawns on him that he should have switched it up, because now, I mean, he has to find a way to get rid of that Shoutmon, or else it's game next turn unless he can drop a blocker. And yeah, that's where he's realizing, yeah, he should have popped the Shoutmon and swung over the BOmon, and realizes it a little too late. And I think my opponent is thinking he's just going aggro, because he's making a few misplays here. I think the bricks have messed with him. So he goes into a Chessmon GX, which is a good play because he gets blocker. But he adds the source and decides to go for security. I think it was just another misplay. I think he was already ready to concede. He didn't like what he was dealing with. He had already played the Lightning Joust, so he uses the Joust, gives it the boost, and goes in for 3 checks. I grab 4 checks. He goes in for 4 checks on that, threatening lethal next turn, but what he should have done is he should have stalled it out and waited, because he had blocker. He could have held me for a turn and then gone on the offensive next turn, but I go ahead and Evo up just to add a little nudge to end this tournament. I go into a Wargrowlmon and basically beat him with his own Digimon, swing with Wargrowlmon for game. That ends it for us. Fun game. Surprisingly, Shoutmon DX takes the tourney this night. Was not expecting to go this far, but hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay and hope you guys come back for the next one.